Deke Shaw returns, living the life as the CEO of a startup tech company with an influencer girlfriend and a hot new VR game called Remorth Rumble. It's a shame he ends up on Sarge's radar. Plus, Keller discovers there's always a downside to dating a season regular. It's Agents of S.P.O.I.L.E.R.S, Season 6, Episode 4. Code Yellow. Hey everyone, D here, and welcome to this week's review of Agents of S.P.O.I.L.E.R. So yes, as usual, spoilers are ahead. And do want to remind you about our quick jump index system. Take a look down in the description below. I'll have a complete breakdown of this review, time code into certain sections. You can jump forward, jump back, watch the review in any order you want. So yes, we're back and Deke's back. I've missed Deke, I gotta say honest, and I love the fact that we keep up the lemon imagery in his world. The title, of course, Code Yellow, is referring to Deke, and while he might feel a little insulted by that, come on, he's the lemon guy. Lemons are part of his logo for his company. He's got yellow everywhere. It's an easy name right there. It just sort of fits. But I have to say, really happy to see Deke back. Always entertaining. Jeff Ward is just a blast in the role. And I have to say, I like how they sort of reintroduced Deke. Of course, we're flashing back to what appears to be back in the future with the Kree, and he's running, but it's not the Deke that we all, certainly more badassery. So we knew it was a dream or something, or he's telling a story because he wasn't commander of anything. But no, ends up being a framework-style VR program that Deke is developing as part of his startup company, which does start to lead into some questions. How did he get framework technology? Yes, his grandparents are Fitz and Gemma, and yes, Deke is a smart individual. He has contributed some brain power during last season's adventures, but still seems to be kind of a stretch for him. Just sort of copied those files and dragged them along with him. We got some questions, but I do love how he's kind of set this up. And in fact, the whole opening bit really was kind of the perfect nerd dream of being a hero. I mean, almost stereotypically so. With he's now the badass, he's got the quippy lines, the bad guys can't touch him, he gets to do the cool moves and to throw up and pull up the shotgun axe, constant references to all of the other characters, everything else that he has done or that has been with him. And then, of course, we get Daisy showing up and going, ooh, Deke, you are just so amazing. How come you haven't been here? Just the definite dream. Which, considering Sequoia, his apparent girlfriend at the time, not a full commitment to him. In fact, even when rescue finally does come, is one of his, not his first question, but definitely on the list is, and where's Daisy? Was great. I loved the whole little bit. It was fun, it was goofy, it was nerdy, and it establishes Deke kind of living the life in his new world. But not just taking advantage of placing him as the hero within this narrative, but also trying to do some real good. Certainly affected by coming from the future and everything that he's been through. First off, nothing goes on this wrist. Of course not. When the Kree shackle you and that's how you get your food and your tract and all that, and that finally comes off, I can imagine that he wouldn't want anything ever on that wrist again. And that while developing a game and all of that, he is socially trying to prevent starvation, provide food for everyone in admittedly disgusting mushroom pellets. Not my favorite type of food in any way, shape, or form. And certainly there's some flavor issues with Deke that he hasn't completely gone over with. But the fact that he is really trying to be socially conscious. He is trying to do a good thing. Yeah, he's maybe milking his past a little bit, and he's putting himself up in the higher positions. But who wouldn't, given the opportunity? But I like the fact that he does have a plan. There is something that he wants to do, a give back to the world. So, again, Deke still, well, a little selfish, looking out for the people around him. And I have to say, the whole opening bit, like I said, was great. And I love the final look at the camera. It's just talking, you're amazing. It just looks... was a perfect thing. Was a perfect in-character bit. We don't break the fourth wall much in this show. But to me, this was kind of... this would be the moment that you do that. So, of course, that fun-loving lifestyle comes to an end when Coulson shows up to say hi. Of course, it being Sarge. And again, see, I love the dynamic between characters, between actors that have worked together. They feed very naturally off of each other. And that was very prevalent through a lot of the Deke Sarge dialogue throughout the episode. But I also loved how we are seeing that Deke is smart. He's not just, like I said before, living off these past ideas. He does have a functioning brain. He has survived for a long period of time. And so that survival sense still very much part of him. And I loved how that sort of came up in that Deke Coulson discussion, where, of course, obviously, straight off, Coulson, my man, great to see you. How are you still alive? Where is everybody? You know, we're finding out here, Deke, obviously, not a lot of contact with S.P.O.I.L.E.R.S since he walked out of the lighthouse at the end of last season. Been pretty much on his own. Obviously seeing that Coulson doesn't have all of the info, isn't up to speed, so he smartly guesses, oh, they did a brain wipe on you. You got retired. Is this the way that S.P.O.I.L.E.R ends? I mean, he's engaging ideas. He's not just fumbling around, and that's really what I liked about this. And how quickly he does figure out that this isn't Coulson. I mean, we get the same from Sarge, too, because Sarge, ready to kill Deke, the minute that he hears Coulson again, which he's only heard from May, obviously he should know that's his name. He did say at the end of last episode, Coulson, you know, when Jocko asked him, Coulson, what does that word mean? I don't know, but it sounds familiar. Well, I'm assuming, even if you've changed it, you probably know at some point your name was Phil Coulson. I'm just doing a guess. So he does have a recognition for it. Since May has been the only person before that has said something to him, and now we have Deke, that causes him to pause. Now, whether it hits a soft spot in him, I'm not necessarily going to go that far, as just for Sarge to recognize this is somebody who obviously knows me. This is an opportunity to get information, which, when you're invading a world and you're doing super secret stuff, information always a good thing. So it's a smart bit from each of the characters to use this encounter to the best of that they can get out of it in a way that makes sense for the characters. And like I said, they did this great. The fact that Deke does quickly figure out this isn't Coulson, probably already giving him way too much information beforehand, because he's not that quick on the uptake, but he can figure things out. What was it? An Agent Doug. God, was just thinking he was obviously going to say Daisy there, but he used that. Agent Doug. Oh, yeah. Agent Doug. Yeah, that Doug. Love that guy. Anyway, that was brilliant. And the stab in the hand. Real hand, not Coulson. That was just, again, another perfect character bit. Now, I know that there was a question, I know it had popped around through social media, I don't know if you guys had seen it, when May was looking through the heat detector, through the vault, and we saw Coulson walk away to, and that's how they discovered the portal into the truck, where May eventually went up to. There wasn't a heat signature on the hand, so there's a question, is this our actual Coulson? Is this evidence that this is our Coulson that has been somewhat hijacked or whatever? Apparently this scene throws that that's not. Real hand, stabbed through it. That's the quickest one. Again, just Deke's like, real hand, not Coulson. Was just was beautiful. And of course, all that leads up to really the moment that became my favorite bit. Now, at this point, we get to really jump down to some brass tacks to what Sarge and his group are after. The scene from last week when Sarge shot up into the air wasn't a ship in orbit. That's what I thought. I know, I was wrong. We actually did have someone in comments that picked that out correctly. Good job. But was a tracking system of a sort, some sort of grid up in the sky, was able to track out who is not from this world. Harold Simcoe, of course, the guy at the bus stop that was able to, their first little victim here, which gave us our insight. One, that this person knew he was being hunted, from Harold's reaction as soon as Jocko and Pax had shown up. Knew that he was being hunted, smart enough to run, and definitely not human, at least when gets stabby in the chest. At this point, weird crystalline stuff comes out and dies. So definitely not a local. And admittedly, Deke, not a local either. Not the exact prey that Sarge and company are really going after, but how do they know that this is a guy from an alternate future, from an alternate universe, who's traveled back in time here? I mean, there's no way that they could know that. He doesn't match the proper signature for here, is all that they know. And that's what they're hunting down. So we get to see the alien bit in that first little scene with Jocko and Pax. Here we get the actual statement. They're tracking people, not from this planet. This guy's not from this planet. Different reading, but still, we go after him. So we get to see that there is a hunt. There is a purpose to what the group is at. And that, of course, leads to their little split up. Oh, by the way, when they came into the office, I loved everyone taking off my favorite, the guy on the Segway, who was like right behind Deke, trying to escape. He didn't even look like he was rushing. He was just segwaying slowly away from Sarge and company. I don't know. It's just amusing to me. Anyway, but from that moment, we do get to our Scene of the Week for this week. And, you know, there were a lot of optional moments in here. There's some great fights. There's some emotional bits. But given the opportunity, I always like to pick the scene where I go, yeah! While watching it. The one that rises me up, that gets me excited when it happens. Sometimes even if I can see it coming, that's really what gravitates to me. And that's this one. This is, of course, Sarge hunting down Deke. I mean, first, we get a little insight into Sarge from this. I have been hunting people like you down my entire life. So this has been a long-term search for Sarge. He has been doing this for a long period of time. All of his life, good chunk. Not a recent job choice for him. So that's one bit of information. But again, we also get some smart stuff from Deke, able to sort of turn things around. He's using the communicator. He's using speakers. He's suckering Coulson around. And even commenting back, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm stealing some of your tech, but let's be honest, you stole half this stuff from aliens anyway. You're not Coulson. You may look like him. I don't know how you got your face, but you're not Coulson. That's not you. I mean, it was a great turnaround for Deke to be using some intelligence and some insight to kind of taunt and get away from this guy. He runs, but he's not a total coward, which I think is an endearing quality to Deke. However, when Trevor shows up, that was it. Because Deke's hiding and suddenly Trevor pops up behind. He's like, I got your back. You want you head to the northwest exit? It's going to be here. Don't look back. It's going to be, I got you. And all I'm thinking is, oh, come on. Oh, please say it. Please say it. And he does. Who are you? Trevor Kahn, agent of S.P.O.I.L.E.R.S. Da-da! Tosses out the explosive. Boom! I was like, yeah! I mean, again, it was just awesome. We get to see Deke doing some smart stuff. We get a little insight into Sean, into Sarge, and we get this great moment because, of course, they're not going to let Deke all by himself. He is using S.H.I.E.L.D. tech. He's using past mission, just much as he tries to tell Sarge, I'm not using these things and stuff. Yeah, you're using mission material. You're using people's lives. You're using shotgun axe. So, I mean, all of that was just awesome. And then the moment that... And also, Trevor Khan. Come on, it sounds like a Shaka Khan song. Trevor Khan, Trevor Khan, Trevor Khan, Trevor Khan, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. You could do a whole rap breakdown off of that. It would be awesome. Sample some Shaka Khan. It would be perfect. But anyway, it was just a great scene. Little insight off of Sarge, Deke being smart, and of course, we get our surprise. There's backup. Calling people in. It was just, it was awesome. Trevor, you're my favorite part of the whole episode. So, of course, at that point, Mack and main company show up. We get our little bit of a reunion where nobody really acknowledges or says hi to Deke at this point. Really just shoving him off to the side. They gotta go in, then Sequoia calls, so Deke's gotta turn around and escape out, which was great because S.H.I.E.L.D. agent obviously doesn't know Deke and isn't paying that much attention. Now, Deke could just put on a vest and just walk right out the door without even signaling the door light popping on the dashboard there. That was kind of surprising. And then we get our standard whole fight sequences. Let's just say straight out, Mack is a beast. Mack is a beast. And I mean, one, I'm glad he's out in the field. He doesn't just get to be director up there in the lighthouse. He gets to get out and get his feet wet. Always nice. But yeah, that demonstration of him beating the crap out of Pax, that was just, it was beautifully done. It really, the choreography really accentuated that this is a pure strength fight coming from Mack. Just whopping, just impressive as all hell. Obviously, understandable why Keller is a little bit afraid of him. And Sequoia and everybody else who has watched. Great fight, of course. Deke then running up with the icer. Yeah, you only need one for an icer to take him out. You don't need to empty the clip. And it's a bad idea when there's other bad guys like Jocko, where you might need some of those icer rounds to save you. But he does end up pulling it out, and I love how they did defeat Jocko here by turning everything around, by using what our opening bit was, the whole framework bit, suckering Jocko into the room and just falling right into it. Of course, Daisy coming out. You're late. Why late? But to me, the best part on that, the look of disdain on Mack's face as he and Deke are looking at the screen of what's going on inside Jocko's mind there, and just sees Daisy up, and yet that look of just disdain on Mack's face was just perfect. Was beautiful. He said 2%. I'll give you 2% of the company to keep this between us, because that would not make Daisy happy at all. Meanwhile, back at the lighthouse, Keller discovers he's just a redshirt. Poor Keller. Was sort of starting to like him. I mean, it was interesting. You always wonder when you have these non-series regulars dating a series regular. I know sometimes it transitions. It takes a while. Davis and Piper have been around for quite some time. So maybe they were leaning into that for Keller. No. His whole purpose was kind of the emotional pull off of Yo-Yo. And it was sad, but really not surprising at all. I mean, look, I like the setup that they had at the beginning of the episode. That Keller's trying to be the straightforward guy. He's trying to tell Mack. Mack's stopping him, shooting him down. You know, I don't think you want to finish telling me these things, because if there is a relationship, I'd have to break people up and move people around, and if they work well together, I wouldn't want to do that. Are you sure that you're compromised? I mean, it was a great kind of leadership way for Mack to kind of, you know, keep Keller from being necessarily straightforward. that there are regulations that would have to come into line. So in a way, it was cool for Mack to kind of help Keller not have to make that step forward. But I think Keller was right. Is part of that is that Mack still has a thing for Yo-Yo, which I'm sure has emboldened and enlightened several members of our audience that's a greater possibility, especially now that by end of episode, Keller is out of the way. Which, like I said, not surprising. I knew he was dead the moment the bat escaped. The moment it got up out of the body, I knew Keller was dead. The whole rest of the episode was just dragging that out. Now, I'm glad it wasn't an immediate thing. That would have been almost too quick. That there was a kind of a process for it. Do have to ask Benson. I mean, one, yeah, the crystals coming out of the body, freaky. The fact that the knife was still in there did intrigue me. I wasn't sure. I had to look again because I was like, is that a crystal sticking out or the knife? Why would you leave the knife stuck inside the body? Well, obviously do that because if you pull the knife out of said bat creature, it's going to get back up. Kind of a surprising thing, but alien creature, it can do stuff. Do have a couple questions here, of course, for Dr. Benson. One, pulling a knife, bloody knife, out of a body without gloves on? That's not very sanitary. Not taking the right type of precautions. Especially since you have already identified the bat that's in there. And I know last week we had the whole Hunter Thompson bit, and I made a joke about it being brood country and not bat country. But apparently, it's bat country. But seriously, yeah, very freaky with the whole bat stuff. Yeah, okay, so you pull it out, and it starts to move. Then, Dr. Benson, you put the knife back! If you remove a knife from a dead body, and something in that body starts to move, you return the knife. I'm just saying, good general rule. So, yeah, once it got up and out, they're not going to take out Benson. He's a smart guy. They're having him be a replacement. Keller's the redshirt in this small group. He was doomed. And, of course, you have that emotional impact off of Yo-Yo, especially since it was just revealed that Mack still has a thing for Yo-Yo. This is the goodbye for Keller. But, like I said, at least they took it out. They took some time. They brought in some extra people. We did a hunt down. And Keller is reacting, appropriately smart with Yo-Yo when they did the little look up in the vent. And he lifted Yo-Yo up. It was like he wasn't doing the, oh, it could be dangerous for you, which I liked. I liked the fact that there's still the respect that we are agents and we're doing a job, and he wasn't letting his emotional stuff get in front of him. Exactly what Mack was concerned about relationships doing. And we got a great alien-type shot with Yo-Yo popping up into the vent there. Almost waiting to hear the background sound of those motion detectors from Aliens. As he comes up, looking around, and then... So yeah, she would be the natural target. That's where the bat escaped off into. But no, of course, it's not going to take out Yo-Yo. It's going into Keller. Right into the mouth, down into the throat. At that point, you cut the guy open. I know Benson, he's new to all of this. But no, at that point, you throw him on the table, you cut the guy open, because that thing was all up on the inside on Harold there. And it's exactly what I was going to do with Keller. And it was... These were all really good scenes. Very emotional type moments between Yo-Yo and Keller. And even and Keller being joking about it. Is this early in our relationship to bring in an alien bat in with our group? Nice. Again, I was liking the character. But he was doomed. And that's the whole bit. That's really what it ended up. Defensive. Again, kind of like Alien. It burns if you cut in. But, so it has a way of sort of defensive. So I was thinking very much that was very much like the Xeno, like the alien creature in Aliens. But the whole crystal bit, I was not expecting. I thought the moment that it turned and Keller was gone and it was definitely this creature, that it was going to attack or run or do something, but no. It crystallizes, it embeds, what is that? Is that a reproductive form? Is it establishing a nest? What is the purpose of that? Which is what we're going to be getting into. And was definitely going to be a bad sign for the Lighthouse and the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ. Except that, of course, Yo-Yo had to move, take the knife, plunge it back into Bat Creature, which, of course, kills Keller. Well, Keller was dead, I think, the moment that all the crystal stuff shot out of him. He was just moving around, well, like a zombie ant. Which is what they compared it to. Those are always very cool. If you guys ever take a look into it, the zombie ant, you can look it up on the internet. Was it Orpheocordyceps unilateralis? I think is what it is. It's the fungus that gets inside of ants. It takes over their brain and then it sort of steers them around and makes the ant do its bidding. It's very creepy, very cool. And I kind of like that we're tying into a new alien creature that acts like something on Earth. We can sort of get an identifying off. So all very cool. Like I said, very sad for Keller to go out. But what we're seeing here is that Sarge is hunting down these aliens and trying to stop them. So, villainesque, willing to do dark things, but it shows that he is not, he's not really a bad guy. Alright, just a couple of small things. One, Deke's girlfriend, the influencer, Sequoia. Definitely a big fan of Boba. I am not a fan of hers. Look, I get the entire character is designed to be annoying. And they succeeded. So, good job, but never really wanted to watch her anymore. Was glad when she was gone and off the screen. Did have some funny moments. Love the fact that she is filming while she and Deke are trying to escape from Sarge and Jocko and the rest of the company. She is filming her run, which was hilarious. The whole ending bit, the little, not post-credits, the denouement, the epilogue sequence, which shows her Instagram day, her little videos. Again, kind of cute, annoying in a way. I love that she hooks up with Agent Khan there, with Trevor. Trevor Khan. I have to say it that way. Which was, again, kind of funny. But I think my favorite shot was while she's in the front saying that she got out. See right behind, you've got Mack going after Deke. Looks like giving him a firm talking to right there. I kind of love that moment. But that was it with Sequoia. Otherwise, glad that she was gone. So, Harold Simcoe, pre-Crystal, but definitely while possessed with the bat, on a bus heading for Sioux City. Which is the convergence of 3 ley lines. Let me continue to say, I love the fact they're using ley lines in this season of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also implying there's some bigger stuff. Is this where they're taking the crystals to? Are they crystallizing in these particular areas? And is that maybe serving as a gateway for the other bat creatures to cross over into this world? Don't know. Again, supposition, but we continue to theorize until they tell us what's going on. Oh, super creepy when Keller pulls his shirt off and you see the bat thing crawling around up inside of him. Like I said, at that point, you cut right there. Sorry, anesthetic, whether you got it or not. Look, Keller was right. Looking over at Benson. Don't turn me into that. Do whatever you gotta do. And I love that Benson, even freaking out, being supportive. We got you. Really thought that that was the sign that they were going to be able to pull this off and save Keller. But of course, no. Oh, also in the same bet, I guess Benson hadn't read up on Yo-Yo's file, because she strapped Keller in super fast. How'd you do that? Anyway, just cool. Lot of new stuff for Benson to be experiencing. Every day it's something interesting and probably also terrifying. A little blend of both. Oh, I know I didn't really talk about the May butterfly fight, which was cool. Definitely there were enough little breaks and stuff where I'm wondering how much actually Ming-Na has healed. I think maybe a lot of that seemed to have been doubling. But it doesn't matter. It was a great fight. Was wonderfully pulled off. My favorite part, though, had to be when May grabs the phone and the phone's saying in the background, "If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and dial again." And she's wrapping the cord around Snow's neck. It was just, those are small moments that I personally always really appreciate. They're funny. Oh, also want to give a great shout out to Mark Kolpak. He is the visual effects guy behind Agents of S.P.O.I.L.E., does all of the amazing stuff, and directed this episode. So, again, a lot of fun going on. You can really see the way Mark seems to view the world, not only in his amazing effects, but also the way that he was able to pretty deftly handle the comedic and action parts and emotion in this episode. So, excellent job, Mark. Can't wait to see more of your work, both in the effects and the director's chair. And finally, of course, the episode wraps up with Keller's death, but also May being kidnapped by Sarge. And if the look on May's face is any indication, that was a really big mistake on Sarge's part. However, from the sneak preview of our next episode coming up, may not be that bad. Looks like we actually do get the full info on Sarge's mission, and we get to return back into space to see what is going on with Daisy and Fitz and company. So last week was all space. This week was all Earth. Next episode, we get to be a little back to both. However, we do have to wait 2 weeks for that episode. We'll be off next week. It's still the NBA Finals, and ABC has the last game, second to last game, one of the games on Friday if it happens to play. So, S.P.O.I.L.E., we're going to have to wait 2 weeks for it to return. We'll be with bated breath, but very exciting the way things are moving on. Again, I love Deke coming back. I love that we have story. It's 4th episode out of 13, and we are getting a pretty good handle on what is actually going on. From moving forward from here, we just get to figure out a way to stop this alien invasion, save Fitz, and get everyone back together. So, it's still a bunch of episodes, 9 more episodes to handle all of that. So, really exciting, despite the fact we have to wait 2 weeks for the next one. But, that will wrap us up for now. Thank you so much for joining me with this review. I hope you liked it. If you did, you can go ahead and hit that like button. Thoughts, ideas, and comments, you know where to put them. Right down in the section below. What do you guys think about this episode? Are you happy to have Deke back? Not? Did you like Keller? Are you glad he's out of the way so Mack and Yo-Yo might have a chance? Let me know what you guys think. Throw your thoughts right down in the section below. You can always catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Darren Jakes. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We've got 9 more episodes of Agents of S.P.O.I.L.E. Plus, next month, we've got Legion Season 3, the final season. And then coming up in August, we get Preacher Season 4, also its final season. So, a lot of wrapping up going on this summer. Don't miss any of those reviews if you're a subscriber. Do that by clicking this button right here. And we'll throw up a couple of our latest reviews right here for you to check out. So, that's going to be it for me. I'm D, and I'm out of here. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.